Swadikap, Shoshigalji, and welcome back to TSN Talks. In this week's episode, we welcome a co-founder and CMO of a startup that decided food waste is not good. Over 1/3 of all food that is produced goes to waste, and our chief guest to my left today saw this problem and thought we should really fix this problem. When I heard about this, I thought it would be a great story, and I'm really excited to welcome this person to TSN Talks. Please welcome Ms. Mahima from Yindii.
Hello.
Swadikap.
Swadikap. Thank you so much for having me over. It's my pleasure to share the stage with you.
Yes, obviously. So can you just enlighten our audience a little bit about what Yindii is and what was the inspiration behind creating this app?
Okay. So before I move on to what Yindii is, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Do you like food?
I love food.
Do you like discounts?
I also like discounts.
Which one do you like more? Kidding.
Food discounts.
Food discounts. Have you ever woken up one day saying, "Oh, I think climate change is real, and maybe I should do something about it"?
In Thailand, we feel that, right?
Yeah,
it's hotter and hotter every year.
Yeah. So what if I say you can actually save the planet by doing what you love the most, which is eating at a discount? So that's cool, right?
That sounds like a good idea.
So that's what Yindii is all about. So let me just start with the problem that we originally sought to solve. Couple of things that we looked at. Globally, more than 30% of all the food that we produce ends up in landfills. That's like more than a third. It's not fair. And this fact leads to a couple of issues. As a food retailer, people around the globe, they are losing more than $1 billion every single day because they're not able to find a customer at the right time. But this is for the manufacturers, for the producers and retailers. What about people like you and me? What happens? So access to high quality food is getting more and more difficult, more expensive. I don't know if you've felt, but at least in the last 5 years, I see food prices hitting record high in Bangkok.
Inflation, yes, massively.
Yeah. So access to high quality food is becoming a problem. And the third biggest problem, and also the least known, is food waste contributes to 10% of our global greenhouse gas emissions. Food waste is 4 times more polluting than the airline industry, but you don't really see it because when you see fumes coming out of a car or from a transportation vehicle, then it's like, oh, that's pollution.
Yeah.
But when you throw a donut in the trash can, you don't really see that as polluting.
Fair enough.
But this is crazy, and this is the least known fact. So Yindii was actually created to solve all of these problems. So what we do is we connect any kind of food retailer, you could be a baker or a supermarket or a hotel or restaurant, with excess food. Instead of throwing the food away, the good edible food, instead of throwing it away, we find people like you and me to rescue the food at a discount. So it's a win-win-win model. Food retailers are able to reduce their losses, increase their profitability, and also be sustainable. People are able to save money on amazing food. And together, we're actually reversing climate change one meal at a time.
Okay, that's lovely. That's a great intro. So, I mean, a lot of people would ask if the food is about to go bad, is it healthy? Can they eat it? And along those lines, what are your thoughts on that?
Put yourself as, okay, imagine you run a family-owned bakery, right? On an average, say there are 100 customers that would walk in.
Yeah.
You would not bake exactly 100 pieces of cake. You want to give variety till the last customer that walks into your store.
Right.
So on an average, 10 to 15% of the excess production or the wastage is factored in for because everybody needs variety. If you walk into a store, if there's one piece of brownie, you're like, no, maybe not.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. So excess food is generated on purpose, and it's the same as walking in any store and having a buy one get one at the end of the day.
Right.
When you do that, you don't really feel that it's bad.
Yeah.
Yindii is just a consolidation of the happy hour in an app. So there's nothing wrong about it.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
So do you make it evident how much people are saving the climate in the app? Like, is that part of your customer journey?
Yeah, we do, because is very important. What we've taken up is also, creating the awareness. I mean, if we move on, it's like a big story in itself, like what are the problems that we're facing in Thailand. So one of the big problems is the awareness itself. A lot of people do not know how much food is wasted.
Right.
Even if the food is wasted, they don't know what is the impact on the environment. So we make it a point to educate people at every point possible.
Right.
So normally within the app, you get to see how much of food you've saved so far, how many kilograms of food, and what's the carbon impact, like how many kilograms of CO2 you've offset, and also how much money you've saved, so that you can feel proud about yourself in whatever aspect you want to.
Okay, so every element, you make sure to alert the user that they're actively helping the
Normally,
environment.
one bag of food that you rescue on Yindi is equal to offsetting 2.5 kilograms of carbon dioxide. So it's massive.
Yeah, interesting. I want to touch on one of the things you mentioned earlier. You said that food waste accounts for more pollution than, was it airlines?
Airline, 4 times more polluting than the airline.
4 times more than airlines. Talk a little bit more about that. I don't think I've ever heard that fact.
Because when you normally think of food waste, it's not just the food that you throw away.
Is it landfills?
Imagine the entire process of production, the manufacturing, the processing, the transportation.
Yeah.
You know, all of that associated with getting that food onto the retailer shelf or to your home. It's a lot more than the food itself.
Fair enough.
It's not super evident at the beginning, but then when you really think about how much is going on to get that on your table, is actually like way more, and that's why it's like a significantly big number.
Yeah, that's really interesting, and I think that is something that bounds to generate awareness, and it should be generating awareness, right? So when did you actually come up with this idea? Was it like an aha moment, or was it more like we see this problem, let's try to fix it?
So I have a co-founder, Louis. So he, during COVID, was actually volunteering for a food bank. It's called SOS, Scholars of Sustenance. So what they do is they rescue food from behind the supermarkets, then they cook and then they cater to the needy. When he was volunteering for the food bank, what he realized is the amount of food waste that's generated, no food banks are able to rescue so much.
Oh, wow.
It was not really scalable, He was thinking, okay, there needs to be some way where there needs to be a smarter way of scaling, of solving this issue. So he started looking into the problem, and what he saw was in the West, in Europe, there were similar solutions for food waste problem, and Asia had nothing. Okay. So we took inspiration from the West, and then we thought, why not do the same in Asia? And a couple of months later, I joined Louis, and we've been together since then.
Okay, interesting. How has the journey been since then? Initially, was it hard to get traction? Because I assume it's a net positive product to the environment, so people would be encouraged to use it. But did you face any difficulties during launch?
We've had ups and downs. In fact, the very first, when the idea came into picture, we were like, okay, who do we go and ask? Who's the first merchant? Because you don't have an app, you don't have a product, you don't have customers.
Don't really have anything.
So we went to Sunshine Markets. It's a supermarket in Sukhumvit 22, owned by a Thai Indian as well. And then when Louis actually proposed about the solution, she was like, where were you the last 3 years? I was actually looking for something like this. So within the first 3 months of the testing of the product itself, we had 50 merchants on board, 3,000 registered users, zero marketing, no app. It was just a WordPress website that was put up, and then we were already featured on the Bangkok Post saying the startup was doing something right for the planet. So we knew that we were going in the right direction. So you
picked up traction organically right away.
Organically, yeah. But obviously then it was in the middle of COVID. Yindi was launched in 2022, but the biggest hit of COVID in Thailand was in 2021. So it did not spare any business and ours as well. So we actually took the time to actually build the team, build the tech, and understand the market better.
Right.
So we've had the first couple of years were challenging, but I think we are in a good place now.
Okay, that's interesting. So can you paint us a little picture of just the sheer amount of food waste in Bangkok? Is it comparative? Because you told me you work a lot in data.
Yeah. So
give us some interesting data or statistics relating to this.
Globally, like I said, it's over 1 billion tons of food every year. And if you look at Thailand, the latest stats as of 2024 numbers, it's 27 million tons of municipal solid waste. It's not just food, but everything included. Out of that 27 million, 40% is contributed by food waste. That is a big number.
Big chunk.
But this could be anything, right? This could be, when I say food waste, it could be from your plate, from rotten food, it could be anything. So the assumption naturally would be is if I ask you to guess of all the food waste that's generated, what percentage might be food that's actually high quality and edible?
I would just be guessing.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Do you have a number?
30%, 40%.
40%. Yeah. Because when I thought, I was like maybe 5 or 10%, but no, 40% of the food waste that's generated is actually edible and high quality food, and it doesn't make any sense. It's over 3.8 million tons of food in Thailand that's being thrown away of amazing food. So it's only common sense to rescue this. There's no other reason needed.
Fair
really to not do it.
Interesting. So when you work, I assume after you got your first traction and in 2020 when you launched, and like you said, 2021 there was COVID, and that probably put you in a little bit of a pickle, did it?
It was hard. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a very easy journey. I mean, one example that I gave was quite positive, but I think we do face struggles when it comes to awareness from the users as well as the brands itself.
Right.
Because sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to say that my brand has excess food. I want to showcase that we sell out every single day, but people are not stupid. Everybody knows that you have excess. And these days people want sustainable options. The minute they know you're a sustainable brand, then that is when my respect for you actually goes up, and then I actually want to be loyal to you. But still there is a very stereotypical mindset where some brands are like, no, I don't want to give discounts. Yindi actually works, if you see how it works, it's a surprise bag model. Because as a merchant, as a bakery owner, you wouldn't know what is going to be left over at the end of the day, right? And you cannot keep adjusting on the app. So how it works is, I would say to the customer, hey, we have 500 baht of food. You pay 200 for it, but it's a surprise bag. And it's coming from Gourmet Market. It's coming from S&P or, Maison Caisse. It could be any big brand. So it is a known brand. The quality is high, but there's an element of surprise to it because that is how it is practical to do it. So some of the merchants are like, oh, we don't want to give a discount, but then they soon start to realize the financial benefits, because initially there's like that, but then when you start explaining how much of food they're wasting and what's the loss they are making and how they could increase the profitability, then soon it makes sense to them, and it takes a bit of time.
So it's either 0 or 200.
Exactly.
Right? If they just throw out all the food, they're not getting anything.
Exactly.
So do they have to kind of update it regularly, in terms of retailers, what's available, what's not, or is it a one-time end of the day
so
thing?
we have a very flexible model. I said, the excess production is factored in. So as a store, I know how much excess I am producing because of the full shelves that I mentioned earlier. So I would know on an average, I might have 2,000 baht of my food left over. So I'm going to make 4 boxes of it. So 4 into 500 boxes. So I know this is the average. So they could set it on the app saying I would have 4 boxes every single day. But you might have a good day when you're actually selling out in store. So you don't have to necessarily cater. You can tell the customer, oh, I'm sorry, we are sold out today. But there might be days when you have excess. You have 2 more boxes and you can go and update it. So we're kind of very, very flexible on the merchant side. But it's less efforts than throwing the food away.
It is, yeah. Good point. So I guess, was Thailand your first place where you started with Yindii?
Yeah.
Wait, first let's get to this. How did you come up with the name Yindii?
So Yindii is a Thai word.
Yeah,
it means, I don't know Thai, but I know what it means. Yindi. It means welcome. So we thought it's a very nice name. It has a nice ring to it, very positive to what we stand for. So we thought, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
it is a Thai word.
Conceived in Thailand.
It is.
Are you abroad now?
We are. So we launched Thailand in late 2020. We had a first rough couple of years, but and we got an opportunity to expand to Hong Kong in 2023.
Nice.
So and we launched Singapore in late 2024. So now we are in 3 countries right now, and we are still expanding.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Do you see any difference between, I'd say, food waste between these Southeast Asian countries, at least Hong Kong, Singapore, or Thailand?
There is no difference in terms of how much food is wasted. I think we all...
Everyone knows this.
I don't know. It's not a very proud thing, but we all waste equally. But I do see a difference in the kind of awareness and how much people are receptive.
Yeah.
I think Thailand, we still need a lot of awareness to be generated. When I say surplus food, when I say fight food waste, I am not saying the food that you get here is already bad food. It's a prevention. It's common sense, right? So, but this awareness, I think it takes time. In countries like Singapore, Hong Kong, there are a lot more stronger policies from the government,
Oh,
that helps with the awareness, that helps with such.
So they want to encourage sustainability
exactly,
to an extent.
Exactly. In Singapore, there's a good Samaritan law. In Hong Kong, they're talking about bringing a municipal solid waste charging scheme. So businesses and people, based on the amount of waste that you generate, you will be penalized. So then there's like a wise consumption that goes into, and then you start thinking about how can I reduce waste, right? Or how can I compost or whatever.
And how do you contrast that with Thailand?
I don't see much here. I don't see much here. Hopefully we will have something, but I don't think we can be too quiet about it. So we are not really blaming anybody for it, but we are kind of taking it on us to create the awareness. Just because there's no awareness, we don't want to say, oh no, it's not working. But we want to be the people that are helping with creating, the knowledge among people.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Right. So having opened now for, was it 5 years?
Yes,
since 2020?
5 years now.
How many users do you currently have on the app, and how many vendors do you quote unquote work
so
with?
we work with over, I'm talking about cumulative.
Yeah, range you can consider.
Yeah, so we work with over 1,500 brands.
Okay.
And we have over 700,000 app downloads so far.
Okay. Wow.
And Yindi has offset more than 500,000 meals.
Wow.
And that is equal to 1,250 tons of carbon dioxide.
Lovely. Now that's something for positive change.
That is positive.
To the environment, right?
Yeah.
That's lovely. Do you see any difference between how receptive people, or let's say like the general public, the consumers are in different markets, like in Thailand versus let's say Singapore?
Yes, I would say. I think it also kind of differs by I mean, for example, in Thailand, when we speak to expats, it's much easier for them to understand.
Right.
Educated people understand it better. Students understand it better because, students are all about sustainability. They have a better sense than the older generation. So they tend to understand the concept better. But slightly older population, it kind of takes time. Maybe Singapore is, I would rank like Singapore, Hong Kong, and Thailand of all the three markets that we have.
So Singapore is very open to the idea
very receptive. They want to talk about it. And also, sometimes, there's no, I mean, people are saving money, but they're also saving the planet. We have a very strong community, even in Thailand. I wouldn't say it's bad, but, in Singapore, what I see is a lot of people actually talk about it more.
Right.
Hey, I found this something cool.
Organic,
it's very sustainable. Word of mouth is like much, much higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a CMO, talk to us about your go-to-market strategy when you first launched this.
So when we launched it, we were, constantly thinking about the food waste problem, right? And then we thought, when we talk to people about, hey, here's a solution to reduce food waste, and we thought people would be excited. But then they're like, okay. So all of the marketing communication initially was around the sustainability angle. And then we realized, you know what, we have an amazing value proposition of 50% discount. I think we should push this more. So then Yindi became like, hey, save your money on food bills with Yindi app, and add on here is you also save the planet. So sustainability is a great add-on, and I think that kind of worked because people then want to flaunt on social media, oh, today I saved the planet. So that's actually working.
And you can give them the stats to back it up.
Exactly.
Right?
So what we decided is we wanted to make this as fun as possible. We don't call our users as customers, we call them food heroes. We have a strong community because you're saving the planet, you're already a superhero. And then on the app, we are constantly, talking about the stats that we mentioned. And so it's fun. And also the surprise element also is a bit fun, because I don't know about you, for me, oftentimes I'm struggling as to decide what should I have for dinner today.
I want to eat.
Yeah, exactly. So the surprise concept is also fun for them, because then you unbox and you find something like either your favorite or you discover something amazing. So
it could be a good surprise. It might also be, it could occasionally be a bad surprise, but if you like food.
And Yindi is always there to share. If you don't want, then someone else can eat it. There's always good value for money. Yeah.
Fair enough. So during your, I guess, this inspiring journey over the past 5 years, have you had any lows where you thought, I don't know if Yindi would survive this, or this is really challenging and you could come out of it on top?
I don't think there was any point where we had doubts if this would work.
Lovely.
I think we've always seen the value. And
Okay.
anytime I talk to anybody about Yindi, people are like, wow, that's amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, it's common sense for them
Yeah.
to actually like put this solution together. So it's kind of a no-brainer solution. So till now, I don't see any reason why this shouldn't work.
Yeah.
So there have been ups and lows, you know, especially when it comes to understanding the different markets.
Right.
I'm from India. I'm trying to understand
Thai.
Thais and Hong Kong people and Singaporeans and wherever we're going. Definitely it's gonna, you know, have the learning curve and there's
Exactly.
gonna be ups and downs. But we've always, you know, picked up, come back quite quick. So there was never a point where we thought this is gonna fail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I meant like in the past, because you know you're five years in,
Yeah.
so it's already exceeded surviving.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So now it's more about growth, I'd say.
Yes.
Okay. We talked a little bit about the impact this has had, right? Some stats that you shared. How many million tons of?
Not million yet.
500,000 was it?
500,000 meals,
Yeah,
over
500,000
500,000
meals.
meals. So that's an important milestone for us.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's a great milestone
Yeah.
as well. Is there anything specific about Yindi that I know we talk like it's common sense, you're saving the environment and you're getting a discount, whatever. Why do you think a product like this hasn't been made before, or why do you think this is so unique as a product in Asia, but it's not in the West, like you said?
I honestly don't know why this wasn't made before.
Okay, were you shocked when you found out? Like, wait, what?
Yeah, this sometimes, you know, you just need a very, very simple, creative solution to
Okay.
problems, you know.
Right.
I think the problem was not really looked at in the
Properly.
first place. Yeah, it's like, oh, that's the problem of the retailers, and then
Okay.
you never really thought. With technology, I think if something has to scale, whether, you know, giving a solution or whatever, you just have to put it in the phones of people. We are all in it.
Yeah.
You put anything, is going to scale.
Right.
So I don't know why this wasn't there for how many years it should have been, but I think it was a very, very smart idea when it started in the West, and then we kind of picked it up.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Do you have? I assume there are some people that are like, you call them heroes, right?
Food heroes,
that are like
yeah.
regular food
Oh,
heroes.
yes.
Do you have any like interesting customer stories where like you're like, oh wow, like she's eating more on this than I ever did? Or whatever?
Yeah. I have a very specific incident. So there was this customer in Hong Kong, and then she has like rescued she rescues more than 100 boxes on Yindi every month,
Okay.
which means it's like 100 meals.
Okay.
I don't think we place 100 orders on any platform
Yeah.
in a month, and I'm like, that's more than me, like you said.
Yeah.
You know, I was very curious, so I wanted to meet her. So I was in Hong Kong, and I was like, hey, I want to meet you. And then I am just like trying to understand, you know, her reasons, her why. I mean,
Right.
and what is the reason you're doing this? And for her, it was like very straightforward. And she's like, yeah, I feel good, and all of that is fine, but you know, Hong Kong is a very, very expensive market. You know, the cost of living is so high. She tells me, okay, very simple. And she opens her Yindi app, then shows me the stats. She's like, I have saved more than 40,000 Hong Kong dollars
Wow.
since the time I downloaded the app. You know, that is 2 months of my house rent.
Okay.
Tell any person in Hong Kong that you're sponsoring 2 months of their house rent, they would go nuts. And she's like, why shouldn't I be using Yindi? And I was like, okay, that is a very, very interesting way,
Yeah.
you know, for you to look at your cost saving in terms of your house rent, because that also comes with where you live. But I was like, sure, okay, that makes sense. I have no more questions why you're saving food on Yindi.
Great answer. You know, because I think there's more than just like a sustainable impact. There's also a financial impact.
A big financial
incentive
impact
as well,
exactly.
Right?
So in the different markets, I mean, we also calculate what percentage of the excess food that we are rescuing. In Singapore, for example, we save over 75% of all the excess food that's being published on the platform.
Oh, okay.
And for the big brands, we clear up to 99 to 100%.
Wow.
So if you're a Paul bakery or anybody, the minute they say we have excess food, it's just like cleared off in 2 minutes.
Gone.
It's literally 100% clearance.
So
like, for a lot of brands, we are reducing their food waste 100%.
That's actually a really good stat.
Yeah.
Up to a 99 to 100% of the food that they put on the platform will
people are fighting for it.
will be taken up.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Maybe that shows you have a lot of food heroes
Yes, we do.
on the app. Right, lovely. So of course we've talked a little bit about the journey over the past 5 years. What's your vision for the next 5?
Vision, what we want to do is kind of inculcate the rescuing food a little bit more mainstream. We want people to have this as a more mainstream lifestyle. It's not like a once in a while nice time. We want Yindi to be a lifestyle brand. Okay. We want you to actually we want people to look into what can I save today before I go and order something full time. So this has to become part of your life, because I'm specifically talking about food waste. There are a lot of ways and you can have sustainable impact in many ways, but particularly with food, this has to come to your mind first before you go ahead and order elsewhere, or you just look into your fridge if you have something left before you go and order food, even on Yindi. Right? I wouldn't say just buy on Yindi even if you have food in the fridge. Reducing food waste obviously is the the ultimate goal for us. Yeah. But in the next couple of years, we definitely want the awareness to go up than what it is today. And
So just bring more awareness to the product, make it a little bit more of a household name.
Exactly.
Is that just in Thailand, or do you have any other countries you want to?
We are looking into expanding to a few other Asian markets. Nothing finalized yet, but probably something around next year.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Has sustainability always been a major factor for you?
For me as a person, that's a good question. I was more on the social impact side than on the sustainability side. I used to work this is my first sustainable job or work, or I could call it whatever. I used to work for Lazada and Eatigo and all commercial brands before. A typical engineering business background from India.
Okay, fair enough.
But I've always had, I used to spend time for leukemia patients in particular. So how I do is I volunteer my time back in my hometown. Okay. So kids age 2 to 10 that have leukemia, we go and perform, dance and stuff. So we try to give them a good time. And,
Interesting.
Just on the social side, I've been active a little bit, but never really a sustainable person, I would say. And not that I did not want to, but I think I was as lost as a lot of people. You want to do something, but you don't know what to do.
Sure.
That doesn't change your life altogether. You want to be convenient and comfortable, at the same time contribute something. Yeah. I think I found my ground now.
Okay. So after searching for a while, were you searching? Were you actively looking, or was it always just an idea in your head? Like maybe one day I want to do something?
No. So when I met Louis, it was instant for me, because I was like, okay, this is aligning with my expertise, an app-based company and e-commerce and the industry that Yindi is in, but it also had the lacking element of the goodness.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, I'm not letting this go, because then I can go to sleep peacefully.
Okay, so actually you were able to marry the sustainable part with good financial incentive for the customer.
It's business, yes.
Ultimately, it became just free organic marketing, right?
Exactly.
I want to ask you more as a CMO side of things. Was it hard to change the perception of the product initially? Like maybe was it always? Not initially. You could say it could be deemed, like some people might say it might be deemed called like leftovers or whatever's left. Has that been an issue for you to change the perception of the food? Or is it more like, are we educating people the right way?
It's all about the storytelling, the way you do it.
Yes,
I think if you storytell the right way, anybody would understand. If you just say we're trying to reduce food and eat this, then I don't think it's going to work. So we are still learning, the right way of storytelling for the different markets. But I don't think it has been very hard, to be honest.
Okay. Okay, so we actually discussed quite a few things, your journey with Yindi, the impact this has had on society, community. The last thing I want to ask you before we leave is, do you have any advice for people that, firstly, maybe they want to get started with a business or just want to be more sustainable, have a more giving back to the planet mindset?
I think it's kind of the same answer for both that you asked. You start small and you stay consistent. Like I said, when you want to be sustainable, if you're changing your entire life than what it is today, then very soon you're gonna give it up. Very soon you're gonna give it up, pick something that's very small, like rescuing a food or taking a reusable bag or saying no to a single use plastic. And it could be tiny things that don't really impact your life much.
Right.
And then try to be consistent with that, because a million people doing small things has much more impact than fewer people trying to achieve big ones. Yeah. And if you're a business that's trying to, start something sustainable, I would say keep it simple and fun for people, and then stay consistent in your communication and in your value proposition, because then some people tend to start sustainable and then it kind of goes too much of a business. So consistency is key for both, I would say.
Okay, interesting. So a lot of people would say, like, I mean, the common phenomenon is if you do something sustainable, it's not going to be profitable. If you do something profitable, it's not going to be sustainable. But I think you managed to find something that was right in the middle, where it's both sustainable and
affordable.
It's both profitable and has a really good impact on users, people, even the retailers, right?
Yeah.
So just want to say a big kudos to you and Louis and your team for that.
Thank you.
It's been lovely to have you on TSN Talks. I think our audience will love this episode. It's such a lovely product, and when I heard about it, I only thought, like, I need to bring her on TSN Talks.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for spending your time with us today. It was lovely to have you, and all the best.
Thank you so much.